101 Jams, you're inside the Power Hour. I'm your host, DJ Larry Jones, a.k.a. Mr. Important. If you don't know me, then you don't know anybody. And as promised, I have the original bad girl of comedy, Miss Luenell. Luenell, how are you?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing the best I can, Larry.
First off, let me thank you so much for calling in and joining me today. I want to thank you for that. I know you're pretty busy, you know what I mean? So
I'm always interested in people who are interested in me.
Yeah, and I was definitely interested in you. There's so much I want to talk about, but let me talk a little bit about this COVID-19 thing and what's going on with this. I mean, how have you been? Have you been quarantining? I mean, are you okay during this time?
Yes, I'm lucky in as much as I have tried to maintain my career in the most sterile way that I can. And, from being at home and doing, interviews like this or YouTube stuff and, taking care of myself, trying to boost the old immune system and drink more juice and do more this and that. So taking my vitamins and stuff like that.
Right. Now, speaking of YouTube, you do have a YouTube show called Hey Luenell, which I enjoyed. How long have you been doing that?
Maybe about 4 months now. We started it not long after the quarantine because I wanted to have a way to stay in touch with my audience since I wasn't going to be out doing any shows. And in this business, 2 weeks, it's really out of sight, out of mind. 2 weeks off the grid and everybody got to... we'll forget who you are. It's already like we got to start our career over again right now.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I've been doing it about 4 months. It's pretty fun. It's cool.
This quarantine done messed up a lot of people's money. How deep did it get into your pockets? I mean, you could be out there, gigging without this quarantine. How deep did the COVID-19 get into your pockets?
Very, very deep. I have a 24-year-old daughter. I pay for, a couple of residences. Car notes, insurance, life insurance, medical, this, that don't stop.
Right.
And so we did what we could and talked to who we could to get, a pass, a couple of months or whatever, this and that. But yeah, it got very deep into my pocket, very, very deep.
Yeah, I know it cut into mine, man. I had a couple of events I was supposed to host, and right when I was going to Jersey, this whole thing hit. So yeah, it messed me up pretty bad. Now,
well, I had more than a couple because I had my residency in Las Vegas. That was every Sunday night.
Yeah,
that's weekly.
Right.
And then I had like 4 shows. And I was on the road pretty thick weekly. So it's been a deep financial burden. The entertainment industry was shut down. No television shows. No, I was doing all that.
Yeah.
Before the quarantine. But as long as we were able to stay alive and not lose anybody in our family, you can take this time to do a lot of other stuff.
Yes.
Like bond with the family members that you're around. Eat better because we spend a lot of time eating, in airports and on planes and this and that and the other in hotels, and been doing a lot of cooking.
Right.
Which I don't mind cooking when I want to. I only mind cooking when I have to, and I've had to a lot. But it's been okay. It's been all right.
Right. Now, we're living in a time where social media is like a really big source for entertainment, news, and etc. Now, I spoke to Avant, right? I spoke to Avant the other day, and we were talking about the battles that's been going down between different artists. You had Snoop and DMX like a few weeks ago. Then you had Teddy Riley and Babyface, And I told him I think that him and Joe would be a good matchup. Now, if 2 comedians were to go head-to-head, who do you think would be a good matchup? 2 comedians.
Maybe Kevin and Kat.
Right.
The all-time battle that everybody wants to see, Kevin and Kat.
That'll be a good one.
Female-wise, probably maybe Wanda Sykes and maybe some more, something like that.
Right.
I don't battle. I don't do stuff like that. I don't like I did a couple of roasts in my day. I did a roast for Snoop, and I was at the one for Flav, but I don't really like roasts because they're not as fun as the Dean Martin ones used to be. These roasts now are very racial.
Yes.
They're very hurtful. they're very mean and degrading, and so I don't want anything to do with them.
Right.
I don't want to roast, and I don't want to participate in one.
Right. Yeah, because it gets carried away. It'll get carried away really easy.
Yeah, and I had to whoop somebody, you know.
Okay, I want to do something a little different because I've watched you on other platforms, and you know, what I love about you is your honesty when it comes to voicing your opinion, you know, about whatever's being asked you. So what I want to do is something a little different, and I want to throw out a one word. Just give you one word and have you just voice your opinion about that. All right, on that one word. And
okay, and let me tell the audience. Audience Larry asked me if I wanted to know what the questions would be ahead of time,
right.
So maybe I could think about them or think of some witty answer. I told him I'm not insecure and I'm not scared.
Right.
I didn't want to know the questions ahead of time. So this is totally off the dome, everybody.
Right. And we'll call this segment Luenell in her humble opinion. That's what we'll call it. I just made that up off the top of my head. just off the top of the dome. All right, here we go. I
like it.
Today's music. That's the first one. What do you think about today's music?
Varied. You said say one word, right? You said say one word.
You can explain it however you want to explain it. I mean, you know, you can...
Oh, but you said say one word. Now,
yeah, I did say. I know. I did say that, but you can elaborate on it.
Oh well, today's music is varied. You know, I'm an old school hip hop head myself. I'm not real fond of all the B words and the N words and talking about bling and all that type of stuff. Although, you know, some of the beat of the music I like. I'm an R&B chick and a funk type chick, so I don't even mind when the artist sample one of the old school artists' music, because that's bringing the new, it's making the old people, I won't say old, but older
yeah.
generation's music more relevant to the younger generation,
right.
And bridging the gap and putting some money in the old school artist's pocket as well.
Exactly.
But I don't really go for all the too much of the ratchet stuff. Although, you know, there's time for that too. You know, if you're down in Mississippi in a little old juke joint and they, you know, with a bunch of you know, folks drinking moonshine out of a jelly jar, then maybe that might be the time for it. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
Okay, number 2, Donald Trump.
I have no comment that I wish to make on him.
Basically, okay, we got that. Scratch Donald Trump. We pretty much know where everyone stands with that. Kanye West.
I feel the same way every other black person who's
exactly.
not a Sambo feels.
All right. Okay, now, Kanye West. How do you feel about Kanye?
I think that Kanye has been crying out for help ever since he lost his mother, which is, once again, the same way most black people feel.
Right.
And then I think that, you know, he needs counseling by a black female older woman counselor, because he has no black, I don't know if his mother had sisters, I don't know if he has aunts or anything like that, but sometimes you just need that old mama kind of confidant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're right.
And I think that's what he needs, but you know, who am I to say? That's just my opinion.
Yeah, and that's why we call this segment Luenell in her humble opinion. Now,
in my humble opinion.
In your humble opinion. Now, the last one, how strongly do you feel social distancing is necessary? Because a lot of people seem like they're not doing it. It's like they're not taking it serious. So how important do you feel that it's necessary?
Well, being an entertainer and being around people all the time, I was wanting to social distance way before the COVID anyway.
Right.
Because the type of person I am, a lot of people feel like I'm their auntie and stuff like that, and they can't help it, and they just want to hug me and kiss on me, whether they're hot and sweaty, whether they've been smoking cigarettes or whatever. And so I have been wanting to stop all the touchy-feely madness anyway.
Right.
But I feel that the social distancing, the mask wearing, a lot of people, you know, if I may be so blunt as to say, white folks do not like to be told what to do.
Yeah,
and they love to tell people what to do. So we found that out because it is not about being American. It's not about your civil rights. It's about, don't you want to protect yourself from some nasty person out there who may be asymptomatic and give you something? You don't even want to protect yourself. You just don't want to be told what to do. Exactly. So I have also heard other, other scenarios where they say the mask is this, the mask is that. There can be nothing wrong with wearing a mask around people as much as I talk and comedians and entertainers talk and spit when we sing, spit when we talk, spit when we socialize. We needed that anyway. So I feel like all this cleanliness stuff that we're doing, we should have been washing our hands. We should have been wiping stuff down. Long time ago before any of this happened.
I did a public event the other day where we was doing giving out masks and stuff, and there was some doctors out there doing free COVID testing. And we just started talking about China and how China's been wearing masks for years. You know what I mean? China's been doing this for umpteen thousand years.
Yeah, we seen them getting on the planes and we were laughing at them because they always had masks and stuff on. What did they know that we didn't know?
They knew something. They knew something.
Yeah, they still know something.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, what do you have coming up? Anything coming up on your show that you want to plug in? You have any guests coming up that people should tune in? As a matter of fact, how can people tune into your show? Where do we have to go?
Well, I don't have guests right now. It's just me. I will be bringing guests on when we get, different software. I'll start split screening people, and I'm hoping that one day we can go back to doing in-studio interviews once again. I had an in-studio interview scheduled, believe it or not, for the gospel program on KJLH out here, which is Stevie Wonder's show. It was going to be this Sunday night. I just got an email like an hour ago that said that they've canceled all in-studio guests. So for right now, my YouTube show, Hey Luenell, is just me. It comes on every Wednesday, California time from 3 to 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 to 6, and on the East Coast, 6 to 7 every Wednesday live, or you can see it because we archive all the interviews. And if you follow me on Instagram at Luenell, Luenell, you can just click the link in the bio and it'll take you straight to Hey Luenell, or you can just go to YouTube and put in Hey Luenell, HeyLuenell. You'll be privy to the show. I also have an episode coming up on the new season, the sequel to Power, Ghost Book 2. I did an episode of that. Can't tell you when, can't tell you who I'm playing. You just got to watch and see. I have a movie called Ball Busters that I guess they're going to release maybe on Netflix or something. It's starring Jerry O'Connell. And also we have the highly anticipated Coming to America, The Quest, which is supposed to be out in theaters December 18th, I think, 14th or 18th. We're going to see how that goes because everything else that was due to come out in December, like Jennifer Hudson and Puerto Rico's story, has now been pushed back. So until, I think they're not going to come out till Martin Luther King weekend now. So hopefully we'll still have our release in December, because when I tell you that is giving me a hemorrhoid, not being able to post the pictures that I have. I want to show everybody the fashions. I want to show everybody the guest stars. I want to show people that I've been having these pictures on my phone for almost a year now and not being able to show anybody. So I'm going nuts with that.
I can imagine.
But it's going to be, it's brother, when I tell you it's amazing, I was so happy to be in the previous Eddie Murphy movie, which is on Netflix now, Dolomite Is My Name.
Right.
And to go from Dolomite to Coming to America, The Quest, and do two of Eddie Murphy's comeback movies back to back, I couldn't be happier. I was pretty on fire before the world shut down.
Right. That's a blessing. That's a huge blessing right there. And I can't wait to see it.
It is.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just as proud of my YouTube show as well, though. Because, you know, that's people that are totally there for me, you know, and all us entertainers, little low-key egomaniacs. So,
well, you got to have me on your YouTube show. You know, you got to have me on there.
Well, when I start to have guests,
Right.
I will absolutely give you a call. I don't want to hear no trash. You better do it.
I'm going to do it. AKA Mr. Important. If you don't know me, you don't know anybody. So
then you don't know nobody.
Luenell, I thank you so much for calling in, and you got to stay in touch. We'll definitely stay in touch.
Yes, for sure. Willis is always able to put us together.
Right.
And I want to thank her for hooking this up right now, my publicist, Willis Bennett. And you just take care of yourself. Stay healthy.
Yes.
Continue to eat correctly as much as you can. And, I'm going to pray for good health for all of us. Brother.
Right. And you know what? You just gave me an idea. When it's time for me to come on your show, that will be the topic, what we discussed prior to this, interview.
Yeah. Okay, for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody needs to hear about that anyway.
Exactly.
Because there before the grace of God go I, you know what I mean?
Exactly. All right, once again, I thank you so much for calling in. That was Luenell. Keep it locked in right here. 101.3 Jams, the Power Hour.
It's the Power Hour.